Hello, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, August 25th, 2022. And tonight's video is going to be taking an in-depth look using the tarot into a situation that involves a former president, Mr. T. As we all know, on August 8th, there was an unprecedented FBI action involving a raid of Mar-a-Lago, a removal of 15 boxes of documents, and President Trump on Monday filed a motion in Florida courts asking the following. Basically, there's three elements to his motion. First, freeze of the DOJ's, Department of Justice's review of the documents seized at Mar-a-Lago. Second, the appointment of a special master to oversee the document review process. And third, the release of a real property receipt, a list of items seized during the search without plans or other materials, and the return of all property taken. It was very nice. I have heard that they did agree to send back his passports. One was active, one was expired, and one was probably diplomatic in nature because you can own multiple passports legally. I think those three things in his motion are very reasonable to ask for. You should get a receipt of property taken. I mean, that's reasonable. Asking that someone simply oversee the review process, that seems reasonable. I don't see anything unreasonable in any of these motions. But the tarot and the universe doesn't recognize time like we do and can see a little farther ahead than we can and has a broader perspective than we often have. So let's take a minute tonight and ask the cards about that. Now, before I do, I'd like to go back to that because I neglected, I'm sorry, to tell you where I was reading that from. I found two different screens to share with you, although a simple search will get you where I got. It's nothing fancy. Okay, so this was in the Deseret News, and if I mispronounced that, I apologize. And the other spot I looked was on the new civil rights movement.com, and they had an article about it. I found some others, but as soon as they used words such as baseless or lie or unfounded, I am not going to share those with you. You can find plenty of those on your own. So let's ask the cards tonight. What can the universe share with us about this motion that Mr. T and his team have filed? Will elements of it be approved? Will it, none of it? Does it not matter because other events are going to take center stage? Let's just see what the cards have to tell us about this situation involving the motion that was filed Monday by Mr. T and his legal team. The Tower, the Devil, Ten of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Strength, the Chariot, Queen of Wands. Okay, well, the motion filed by Mr. T's legal team on Monday is indicated by the Tower card, which means that it's a face-off, okay? They're at a pivotal point here where they're saying enough's enough. We have some reasonable requests for how this plays out, okay? That's clarified by the Devil card. So the Department of Justice was not being very candid, no surprise to those of us that don't watch the mainstream news, about what they were up to, and they're getting called on it. Now, in the recent past, we have the 10 of Swords, and that's 10 means it's the end of something. And they were trying to put an end to any claim Mr. T has for public office now or in the future. So that was part of what they were hoping to do, was to dig up or plant information that would make that not be possible. Let's look ahead. We're asking about what can we be told about this motion? And the motion has got the Wheel of Fortune turning, okay? Wheel of Fortune always turns, always turns. So you have to look at where it's at, because it's going to move from that. Right now, where it's at is Mr. T is not publicly holding the office of that he had previously. Mr. T and the world are dealing with rampant inflation and corruption in many, many, many places where there should be none, where there should be a recourse for justice and what have you. Those things are going to change. Look ahead, future, beautiful strength. So this motion that's been filed, hopefully it will be heard by a less compromised judge who will see that those requests are reasonable and fair and approve them all. The Chariot shows up. Now the Chariot is often the younger version of the Emperor in the tarot cards. He doesn't back down, okay? And he can sometimes indicate that there's a move that's going to happen when he shows up. Little more energy and maybe not quite as much foresight as the Emperor himself has, but eventually with life experience and some wisdom, he's got that. Now he's next to the Strength card, so he's very well aspected. So whatever he's playing in this situation, it is tempered well by the Strength card. So we don't have to worry that he's being a little foolhardy with what he's doing. So this was a well thought out move by Mr. T's team. And I get the sense that there was even some planning ahead of time. It may be some of that 5D chess that gets played. They may have information that is contained in those documents that the DOJ is going, oh my gosh, if we had known that was there, we would have never touched it. So hopefully by appointing a special person to oversee that, what will get reviewed is what the documents that were really there, they'll really enter the public record. Mr. T has assured us that every single document that was there was declassified. So there shouldn't be anything that we have to worry about unless something was added. And I think then the worry is on the part of the DOJ, because they were well observed. As someone wise said, you know, when parties like that are expected, you let them find the first layer of surveillance and security. You let them find the second, maybe the third. But there's technology out there that we haven't even heard of, that Mr. T and his team have access to. So they're going to have to own up to what they have, own up to anything they try to add to it. It's going to be interesting. Let's see if the cards have some more information about this situation. We got the 10 of Cups, celebration card, okay? Motion was our basic question. What does the universe want us to know? There's going to be some celebrating involved with this card, okay? We're asking about the motion. This is a card showing skilled hard work. So Mr. T's team is very, very skilled, and they're making chess moves that have been thought out well in advance and skilled, start to finish, okay? We have the 5 of Pentacles. A lot of times when you see this card, these are people willing to go their own way for a time because of their beliefs. They're not taking the easy handout and the easy way out or up, because they'd rather suffer this than compromise. And you have to admire that kind of commitment to an ideal, to a cause, to a way of life that you're committed to seeing return. And then we have the Justice card. So there will be justice involved in this situation, no matter how those 3 motions are ruled on, the justice is the final outcome. And I have no worries about Mr. T facing justice. He's going to be facing, I think, eventually a lot of apologies and a lot of praise. He took a lot of hits for us, people. We need to appreciate that and stand firm. So thank you, Mr. T and your team, for filing that motion. And I hope it sees some fruit immediately, but ultimately it will. It's already changing that wheel of fortune, and wheel of fortune doesn't stand still. So interesting, huh? Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a wonderful day or evening whenever you listen to this, and I wish you all good things. Good night.